right, y'all have been asking for the full Boxy makeup bag tutorial. And also show you how I do these corners as a French seam, but a different way than you've probably seen before. So follow along. I'm gonna take you through all the steps. I learned by watching other people. I've only been sewing since January, so bear with me on how I explain stuff, but I did find a little hack on how to do the boxed corners that makes life so much easier. And it also gives the bag a little bit more structure because we create French seams with it. First, I'm using this chicken fabric. Everybody's been asking me where I got this. This is from my local fabric store called Block Therapy Quilt Shop. It's in Goshen, Mississippi. However, I believe they ship, so you guys could probably go online and order this as well. It's super cute. I also have it in blue. So really cute pattern. We're gonna be doing the white version today, and this is what I'm gonna be using as my liner. First, we're gonna be cutting out our outer fabric pieces. These are 11 by 14. And then you're also gonna cut out 11 by 14 in your batting of whatever you wanna do, or interfacing. I use this fusible fleece. I get it on Amazon, and I have it in my storefront, and it comes in a big roll. And then you wanna cut out 11 by 14 of your liner fabric. So you need 2 of each. 2 liner fabrics, 2 outer fabrics, and then go ahead and iron on your interfacing. You're also gonna need 1 piece that is for the tabs, and we're gonna end up cutting this in half, but it's gonna be about 2.5 inches by about 7 or 8 inches. It really doesn't matter the exact dimensions. And last, you're gonna need a zipper. And I order this roll of zipper off of Amazon. I really like it, and it comes with a little bag of actual zippers that you put onto it. I'll cut it at 16 inches because I want it to overhang just a little bit on the edge of my fabric. So I want it to have a little bit of an overhang right here. Eyeball it, give myself a little bit of extra room to work with, and I just cut it. I'm gonna go ahead and put my zipper on. I don't have any special tricks for this other than the best way I found out to do it is split your zipper a little bit. I always put it on the left side facing me. I hold it in place, and then I push it through the other side. And then while I hold the other side, I just keep tugging on both sides until it catches. Just like that. Okay, there's my zipper. Okay, now we begin the sewing part. You're gonna lay one of your outer panels face up, lay your zipper face down, and then lay your liner on top of that face down. So basically you're gonna have wrong sides together, and then you're gonna clip all of that together in a line and sew across the top. Now, I don't have a zipper foot. I've never used one, so I'm doing just fine without it. If you have a directional pattern, you wanna make sure that you're putting it the right way as well. Once you sew the zipper on, you wanna turn it inside out and flatten it down. A lot of people iron at this step, and then you're gonna sew a top stitch right across the top of that. It should give you a nice clean line like this. And now you're gonna sew your other sides on. So your other outer panel, flip your zipper panel over on top of it, and then your liner face down. So the zipper goes face down on this step as well. Clip everything together just like you did in the last step and sew a line across it. Flip it back over and flatten it back out. Make sure to pull that liner piece taut so that it doesn't get curled up under there, especially if you're not ironing at this step. And then you're gonna sew another top stitch across the top. It should look like this at this point. Now for the little zipper tabs. I love doing this part because it's going to lock in the zipper for the rest of the project and make it super easy. So you're basically going to fold it over on into itself and then fold it in half and sew 2 lines across it. We're making this long strip first, and then we're going to cut this strip in half, and we'll have 2 tabs with it. I like to fold it over with the prettiest side I can find first so that the pretty side is showing once I get it sewed on. Make sure you unzip your zipper long enough to get your tab in place so that the zipper can zip all the way up to it. And also be sure to go slow over that zipper because it will break your needle if you don't. So you're just going to turn the tabs inward and sew right over the edge. At this point, you don't need that extra zipper, so let's cut that bulk off. All right. We're almost done, guys. We just kind of have to sew everything up at this point. You're going to pull both of your outer lining fabrics together and then both of your inner lining fabrics together. Clip those together and sew along the bottom and the top of the long line, so like the 14-inch sides. This is where you're going to leave a hole in the middle of the liner fabric so that when you come time to turn it inside out, you'll have a way to do so. All right, you have to watch closely if you've never done this part, but you're going to line your bottom seam up with your zipper on both sides. So you're just taking the whole piece and flattening it out. Your liner and your outer fabric should line up pretty close to each other at this point. And now you're going to sew a line at both top and bottom. You're actually sewing sewing your inner fabric and your outer fabric together at this point, and your zipper looks like it's going right up the middle of the bag. Go ahead and cut your extra bulk off. Make sure you don't cut your stitches. Now, this is where everyone does boxy bag. They usually cut out all 4 corners at this point and then pull them together to create the box corners, but I decided it's a lot easier for me to go ahead and turn the project inside out at this point, and then we're going to do our boxy corners. I'm going to show you in a second. I like to use a wooden chopstick just to poke my corners out really nice. Make sure that liner fabric is pushed all up into the corners, and then you can go ahead and sew close that hole. Okay, now you're going to flatten out each corner, and here's another little hack for you. I like to take a little piece of washi tape and place it on my sewing machine as my guide for this part so that all my corners are even and my bag doesn't come out lopsided. And a lot of people are asking, this is exactly 2 inches. You're gonna make sure your seam goes straight down the middle of that triangle and sew straight across using your tape as a guide. And then you can go ahead and do that for all 4 corners. I'm showing you here that it comes to 2 inches. And once you do all 4 corners, you can go ahead and cut that bulk off. The closer you can cut to your seam line, the better. Now, you see that raw edge right there? We are gonna flip it back inside out, and we're gonna sew again. That is gonna hide that raw edge, and it's gonna give our bag a little bit extra structure. And I guess this is what you call a French seam. So it does help to clip it together just so it doesn't roll underneath you. And this is what the inside seam is gonna look like. And when you flip it over, it's all hidden in there. And that is it. After you do all 4 corners, go ahead and clip all your little tails off and you are done. Again, I am very new to this, so hopefully my tutorials are helpful to you. I love sharing this with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye.